Greetings to all travel and history buffs. If you come to Derbent and ask a guide why the fortress wall descends from the hill and extends into the sea, they'll smile and tell you about protecting the Great Silk Road from nomads. Beautiful. Logical. But the wall extends half a kilometer into the sea. Why? Strange. Steppe dwellers attacked from the sea? Think about it. Diving horses and scuba diving archers? There are guides convinced that this wall is the remnant of a port. The rest is collapsed. But here again, the facts don't add up. And the talk about an old sailing port requiring these structures also doesn't find confirmation, because ports look completely different. There are no breakwaters, no piers, no port roads, nothing except walls in the water. When divers descended to the base of this wall, they discovered something that shouldn't be there. Blocks weighing up to a ton. No mortar, no seams. Each stone is joined to its neighbor along a complex geometric line, as if they were once soft and solidified together. Polygonal masonry, the same one we find near the pyramids, in Peru, in Turkey. And here it is, here, at the bottom of the Caspian Sea. Where did it come from? Why? How is it even possible to build underwater without scuba gear? How do they lay heavy blocks from a raft? Historians are convinced that talented craftsmen existed in ancient times, and their secrets have been lost. We don't know how, but somehow they managed. Here's their answer. But let's step back and take in the whole picture. The wall stretches for 40 kilometers. Complex mountainous terrain, gorges, elevation changes. The wall is up to 4 meters wide. In places, it's 20 meters high. Inside, there's a stone and soil fill, and outside, a facing of stone blocks, some weighing 3 or 5 tons. Calculate the volume. Simple arithmetic. Let's say it's 3 meters wide. Let's say it's 10 meters high. 30 square meters by 40 linear kilometers. You get a volume of 1.2 million cubic meters of stone alone, plus the soil. That's no small feat. And that's the minimum volume. The Great Pyramid of Giza weighs 2.5 million. The Derbent Wall is about half the pyramid. And with the soil, same volume, only stretched for 40 kilometers in the mountains. Where's the nearest suitable stone? Tens of kilometers away. Check it out. These days, the closest quarries run along the slopes at the foot of the Dagestan mountains. This means the average delivery distance was always about 10 to 20 kilometers, no less. But in the 6th century, someone dragged all these blocks 20 kilometers without wheels capable of carrying a 5-ton block, along mountain trails? On mules? Or camels? Do you believe it? Now, let's go inside the fortress. With guides, with tourists. They show us the reservoir. The tourists are told, this is a sufficient water supply in case of a long siege. Sounds reasonable. But the shape, the strange shape of the basin. It's not a circle, not a square, not an oval. It's a cross, perfectly oriented to the cardinal points, sinking deep into the ground. A cross. Any engineer will tell you, you couldn't imagine a worse shape for storing water. In the corners, water stagnates, blooms, rots. It doesn't circulate. The ancient builders knew this. They didn't make such mistakes by accident. So, it's not a reservoir. So what? Let's sort out our difficulties. So, a wall in the water, where there was dry land tens of thousands of years ago. Polygonal masonry, the same as the pyramids. The volume of stone, comparable to Giza. Blocks that couldn't be transported. A reservoir that wasn't a reservoir at all. Each of these facts is an oddity, nothing more. but taken together, they fit together. And this chain leads us to a conclusion that official science prefers not to discuss. Here's a theory. These walls were built earlier, when there was dry land here. Geologists know for sure that the sea couldn't have been so shallow in the 6th century. 10 to 12,000 years ago, however, is a different matter. And then we come to a terrifying, even seditious conclusion. This wall wasn't built by ancient Arabs or by the inhabitants of the Caucasus, but by an antediluvian civilization. What a trick! Really? Consider that the wall's foundations are made of polygonal blocks, and the Sasanians and Shah Khusrau, their workers built from mud brick, unbaked clay and small stones, and cemented them together with lime mortar. Moreover, we see traces of repairs on these walls, the very same superstructure from similar eras, where both Caucasian and Soviet builders had a hand in it. They patched the cracks and holes. They built up the wall. And this work is visible to any, even slightly knowledgeable builder. They look like children's sandcastles compared to the foundations of past millennia. Official science convinces us that 10,000 years ago, only flocks of primitive people roamed the earth, wearing the skins of slain animals and using bone-tipped spears to gather roots and fruits from wild trees. So who built this structure? The answer is frightening. We are not the first here on this planet, not the first in these mountains, and not the first to own this fortress. And the saddest thing is, we clearly don't understand how to utilize the legacy of our ancestors. We mistake a structure with complex acoustics and orientation to the cardinal points, which served our distant ancestors as a source of energy or as a production facility, for a reservoir and fill it with water. We are only capable of making primitive use of these structures. We know no other truth, and we're not looking for one. But these are all fragments of the same puzzle. The Great Wall of China, with its loopholes facing in the opposite direction. The inexplicable serpent ramparts in the southern steppes of Russia and Ukraine, and the walls of Mountain Shoria, which no European has heard of. All of these are perhaps pieces of a single system of the past world. But to understand their purpose, they must be explored. And how can you explore something that doesn't exist? There's no justice for what doesn't exist.
On this sad note, we conclude our story about the beautiful Derbent fortress. Come to Dagestan, to the Caucasus, and you'll see many curious things. Here, they know how to value guests. Here, traditions are still alive. All the best to you, friends.